October 13th.
Okay, we are live.
Joe, would you be willing to share some about shepherds? If I bring that up, I mean,
I'll tell you what I know, which is just a little bit.
did he call you back?
I was checking my email.
Okay. Okay, we're gonna call the redevelopment commission meeting to order, and we'll do roll.
Mayor Grant. Cindy
Mayor
Mason.
Grant,
I'm sorry, I was listening.
Say
are you
present.
here?
Say present.
Present.
Cindy Mason.
Here.
Kaylee Carnahan.
Present.
Chris Gaylor. Tim Kimple.
Present.
Sharon Nagel. Present. Okay, Cindy, all yours.
Okay, so
I have read the minutes and I would like to make a motion to approve the minutes for the
Second.
last two meetings.
been moved and seconded. Did I hear that, Tim?
Yes, ma'am.
All in favor? Aye, opposed? Okay, moving on into old business. The last time we did talk about Cable Lane, and then I was gonna get with a couple developers and see. I did talk to Belterra. That's an EPCON development, 55 and up senior living type facility. They do houses, patio houses. And he sent down information and wanted to know what type of incentives we would give. I talked to another gentleman, and he was interested in the property too, also wanted to know if we were going to give him the land. And I said, I'm not telling you anything right now. I also reached out to Dennis Carson, and I asked whether or not they did RFPs, because we thought about doing an RFP for that property to see which would be the best way to develop it. Do we want patio condos, which would be like a 4-pod, or do we want patio homes? Do we want a combination of both? Which would be the best way to go with development in that area? And he said that Tippecanoe County doesn't have to do an RFP to get interest. Go figure. But
That's
definitely,
good for them.
but definitely, I think that's a way for us to go is to actually put out an RFP and send it to the Builders Association of Lafayette. Dennis Carson also gave me a name of 2 builders that he's worked with in Indianapolis, so I have their contact information. We could send it out and we could put it in the newspaper. But I think that's the way that we need to be going. And Judd mentioned that, we need to be specific in that RFP, saying that we want it to be 55 and up. I'm thinking single floor levels, looking at, step down houses, 2 bedrooms, two baths, 2-car garage. This is the type of thing that we're interested in having developed there. So what are your thoughts?
I love it. That's just me.
I think we need to know, is anybody interested? What will they want to do with that? They've all asked me if this is TIF area. It is currently not designated a TIF area in getting money from, the development there. So I think we would need to proceed getting Cable One declared a TIF area.
I think that makes the most sense.
That's
to do.
not the city limits.
Pardon me?
I thought we expanded the TIF.
That's the
the EDC. The allocation area is the area that actually produces the TIF revenue, and that's by parcel.
I
So-
think that we should do that. I think that makes the most sense. And we would do the same thing if there was another type of development coming in as well. I think that makes more
Right.
sense.
And the residential TIF is new. We don't have a current residential TIF. We talked about Shepherd's Landing. So even if it were in the allocation area, it would have to be pulled out because it's residential versus
Okay.
business.
Right.
Is that a process you start now?
It has to be started before they start building.
Okay.
So I think go ahead and get it done. It doesn't, there's no time limit on declaring the area a TIF area. It's when the allocation is made to that area on a bond, that's when the time clock starts. And on a residential is a 20-year payback period. So, but just declaring that area out there as a TIF area, we need to have that groundwork done because that might take a month or more to get that done.
Mhm.
Can I just ask a question? since
Yes,
I'm new?
yes.
Yes.
Is, why are you limiting to 55 and older? Is there,
Because because we have housing for Shepherd's Landing's going to be for younger people. We've
Single
got income sensitive housing already available. Nothing has been done to address the needs of people in our community that are retirement age wanting to step down, which would then put their houses up for sale in the market. We have not addressed those, and people have indicated that they want a step down. They want a patio condo, and I think instead of us losing that population,
Which we have lost that population too.
yeah, we have. I think we need to address that need. And I know I was talking to people in Indianapolis, and they were saying, yeah, they've got all those, new buildings. But some of the communities missed the boat because they didn't make plans for the 55. Yes, because those people have resources. They've got financial resources. They are doers in the community. When I look at how the pickleball field or courts came about, that was retirement age people. I think we want to keep them locally. Yes.
Is in the plan for that to fully leverage the golf course? Because like you're right there, right? I mean, you can
It'll be,
leverage all.
it goes right up to it.
So like in that, like, is there a way to bring a premium into that with the golf course?
Like premium pricing.
Like the whole thing, like that is probably the single best lot utilized.
That has been available. I think that if we don't, I don't think that we're capitalizing on it. I think it needs to be something that is more expensive than it needs to
It's
be.
very similar to like Coyote Crossing up in Lafayette. I mean, there's,
That's at least what I think. but-
Belterra is 55 and plus, and like I said, it's more of a patio home, and extremely nice. It's definitely an HOA. Amenities, prices probably start at $375 on up. I don't know if that would swing here or not, but I think $350.
Mhm.
Where you're offering a nice
A
home.
worry-free,
Yes.
HOA type kind of
Yes.
thing where you're not worried about
Yes.
mowing your lawn if you don't want to, or the snow removal, and you have access straight to the golf course.
We've got, the Free Methodist Church is my understanding, and Nate, I don't know if that's moving along, is my understanding, with the apartments there. Have you heard?
I've heard that it's still on the.
I heard it's still,
it's a
still
go.
in the works.
Yeah.
it's still good.
there's some issues right now, and I was made aware of it, that they had a meeting, Brian Craft actually wanted me to be in the meeting, but I was on an airplane. There is a shortfall, right now they have a $250,000 shortfall, and what they're projecting, and my question was, is that construction cost, is it,
Yeah.
can it
What
be
is it?
pared down, and what's causing it?
Mhm.
And he said I needed to talk with, I can't remember the person's name, and that I'll see Brian actually on Thursday, so I'll get caught up on that.
Okay.
I get that information, but I do know there is a hiccup somewhere on that there's a $250,000 shortfall.
Okay. I
It
know
doesn't
the
seem like a
school,
lot, but it does seem like a lot at the same time. It's
I mean, it's I'm trying to remember what the total project, $6 million?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's nothing in the overall.
yeah.
Right, so that's why I want to understand why.
Why
Why
is
is
that
it-
little thing keeping us? Yeah.
I know the school has sent out bids for their project. At least that's what I was told after the last school board meeting,
I don't know.
that bids have been offered.
I'm very anxious to hear about that.
Me too.
And, yeah, I think, moving ahead with Shepherd's Landing, that's going to be homes, young families, so that need is being addressed. But that's why, yes, we did separate and limit it to 55 and up. There was a reason behind that.
I guess
Catching up here.
my question is, you spoke to a couple of developers. Have they gave any of their input of what they think would be best based upon the market? What type and everything? I mean, I think we're all set on single family homes, but I mean, what type are they looking at? Because that has a lot of deciding factor what developers are willing to come
Well,
in and build.
I think we leave it open-ended, just because I think you've got one group that say, the 4-pod would be easier to build. Do we want a combination where we have some 4-pods as you're going in and then maybe single patio homes on the course? I want to see what they want to come up with. I want them to
Is
look
that-
at, I've told them where Eric and I went up, I can tell them where the sewer comes, I can tell them where the water comes. That's just where we stand right now.
Is that something that, I know we had talked about, I'm just going back to our July minutes, but we had talked about getting the design bid for the 200 block or putting that out, what did we call it, the RFP? Is that, can we send that out then for the 200, for the cable lane too? Can we just send it out to people and say,
Well, cable, they're two different things, but yeah, the
can we do the,
the
but can we do
planning
the
thing.
same thing?
Yes. It's an RFP for the 200.
Yeah.
And an RFP for that.
Yeah. I think I want to see that because I think that somebody's going to come and probably just knock our socks off. I really do. I think that I think that somebody's going to have such a great idea and I don't know what that looks like, but I'm interested to see what it would look like, I guess. Same with the 200 block. I'm excited to.
So we need a motion for an RFP for the,
Did we do
Cable
that?
lane.
Well,
Yeah, we need a motion to do
I'll
that.
make the motion.
I'll second it.
Okay, it's been moved and seconded that we develop an RFP for the Cable One housing development. All in favor?
I
Aye. Opposed? Okay, Judd, that would come under your purview, right?
I mean, I'm not an engineer. What I told you before in another meeting was like Otterburn had their engineer prepare a spec pack and then they put it out for bid for.
But I don't think we're
developers.
doing bids. We're not sending it out for bids.
Okay,
We're sending it out for a proposal of what would you do?
I've not done one of those before. I can try, but it would be helpful to have more ideas than just limit to 55 and up and single family homes. But if that's as much guidance as you want to give,
Larry, have you done one before? Have you?
I've not done one for residential, no, I've done one for other projects.
Mhm.
And you can be as broad or as narrow as you want on what would you do with this property to provide residential housing, and you can leave it at that. You know?
Could we put a minimum of what we'd want it to be sold for? Could that be something we also, I think, so we want to put that on there, depending on if you did
You could
single
put
family or the
size of
55
your
plus.
lots on there.
size of lots. That's a good idea.
Well, but they're going to have some ideas too, because a 4-pod's going to have maybe a different size lot than what a single family
So maybe leave
patio
that
is
one
going to
open.
have. I want to see what they think would work. Where's their expertise? And one builder's going to say, I love doing the 4-pods because I can get more in the lot. How many lots do we think we can have? I want to see what they have to bring back to us. I guess it's my thought.
I'm good with that. I think you should put the price on there. You don't want to? Do you not want to? She says no.
I myself personally, I wouldn't disclose price. Because,
Of what your minimum would be?
right, let them, that's negotiating 101. You never give your price first. You let them.
No, I'm talking about what they would sell a lot. Like if somebody wanted to come in and buy a patio condo, like the amenities and stuff, I want the minimum price to
Well,
be
that's-
this. No,
I wouldn't,
no.
I
Am
wouldn't do
wrong?
that, and the reason why is because you're kind of restricting, you're telling your developers, well, let them determine that because they're gonna determine what the market will allow.
My biggest fear is I don't want it to be trash. And that's my fear is that you're
Well,
gonna get
this is
some,
just a proposal.
Yeah,
This
it's
is
well,
not, we're not,
I,
this is not bids.
I know it's not bids, but my fear is that if you don't give them some type of guidance on the money front, I don't want it to be done cheaply. I want it to be, we talked about it being high end. We talked about it being, you're right on the golf course. You don't want it to look like junk. You don't want anybody to.
I agree with that, I do, but I fall back on with these developers. If you look at a lot of the housing, patio homes and so forth, they're probably better than 90% of the houses in Attica that's here now. And, I mean, you go on the south side of Lafayette, those are prefab houses, those patio ones, and they're better built and structured than 90% of the homes in Attica.
Okay, so you would just much rather give them just to say, hey,
Just
we
give
want
that open.
patio, we want to see what you think. I guess then just do it as broad as possible then. Johnny's got
So,
If I
John,
might, so, I've done a lot of technical proposals over my work life. And first of all these developers are real super busy, right? And so if they don't have a carrot, okay, on a fishing pole in front of them, I just don't think you're gonna get the effort from them that you wanna have. And then also, I think somebody might have mentioned, you need to have more technical information. Somebody's gonna have to spend time to build a good request for proposal, okay? And because a request for proposal is usually tied to money, right? And so what you're actually asking for is somebody to do your design for free. And I don't think they're gonna do that. I think that they're not gonna give their ideas away to you guys to then let you go and give it to somebody else. So I think that there's gotta be some initial brain work done, and maybe you have to go hire somebody to do that. Because I think that that's what's missing right now is that technical spec to go along with the RFP. That's just my opinion.
well, the person I talked to, Bob Hockema, is the builder that's building Belterra in West Lafayette. And he was saying, this information, what can you give me? Can you do this? Can you do this? I said, we can give incentives. I'm not gonna tell you what they are right now. But yes, incentives will be on the board. Is this a TIF area? Well, yeah, it's a TIF area. A lot of builders that they don't care if it's a TIF area or not because they're going to get their money, especially on high-end things.
Would it make sense to actually just get a copy of their RFP that they sent out? Because if Belterra has already spent the money, why not get their boilerplate and you gotta get.
They didn't.
started.
They came saying that they wanted to build. Tippy didn't do RFPs
Oh, I see, okay.
because I tried to get their RFPs.
Because I'm sure somebody out there's done that kind of work. They put the brain into it, to get that documented, so.
Yeah, most of the developers in Tippecanoe County, or even down to Andy and Carmel, they already have a plan in place. If you've got 10 acres, they've already had it. They've already got plans that it's going to fit that 10 acres or that whatever that footprint is.
And then, go ahead.
I was just getting a quick question. What's the engineering agency use?
HWC.
They already have a best use, like they have that, Bend to Spend It does that wing of their stuff where they come in and, would it be better for you guys to his point, invest in having that? You already have a vision, hire them for X amount of dollars.
What, hire Ben?
Well, it's HWC, he works for them now, and they have that part.
I didn't really see work for them now.
Yeah,
That's
they
cool.
do that best use of your property, what's the, I forget what they actually call it, but they'll come in and they'll lay out like if you were like, I want a quad flex and patio condos, they'll come in and design it, and then you're actually handing different builders
I understand, but,
more of a scope of what you want.
okay.
And with the cost on that, just take it off the top. That comes right off the top, when somebody comes in to take the project.
I can get in touch with Ben. And Larry, you've got HWC. I think I've got their contact information too. How y'all feel about that?
Yeah, I think we have to have a professional RFP put together for sure.
Yes. Okay.
Now, if a developer happens to come across and say, hey, I'm interested, this is what I'll do, we still need to keep that door open.
Well, we'll send them, they'll get an RFP. I mean, Bob Hockema will get an RFP. The other developer will get an RFP. The Builders Association will get one. We can post it.
Hakima's the builder, the developer is Belterra.
He's the oh no, that's
He's
him?
the
Oh, okay, I thought,
developer.
okay, my bad.
Dennis Carson is the redeveloper.
Okay, that's who, I'm sorry.
Okay,
The only thing with having like that developer that comes in and it's like, woo-ah and everything, a lot of times those things fall apart. And so what I like your approach is getting that common document that everybody's worked to put together. And then you send that out and then all.
I understand. I
yeah,
understand what you're saying.
Yeah, all the responses come back that are geared towards that common document.
I think the school used more of a broader approach when they did their RFPs.
And who did theirs?
I don't know. I can ask them and see who did their RFP, because they had different ideas of what
They
builders
just,
were going to.
they had 3 different developers and basically it was, this is the school, this is the property, this is the football field,
What would you do?
what would you do? And they had, I know of 2 complete different approaches. Well, the first one is doing it in 2 different phases. The second one, he wants to do it all, including football field, townhouses on the football field, redo the school into condos.
So theirs was a broad approach. And I guess that's what was in my mind clicking.
So
But
because are you thinking that they might come up with something else, like something different even?
Yeah.
Like just to kind of give a creative freedom? I guess I'm in for that. I'd like to
But
hear.
I know Ben. I can call Ben and just say, this is what we're thinking.
I think that's,
What are you thinking? Is
I
that
agree with that,
okay?
okay. I like giving creative freedom. I think that'd be good.
And I think there's some builders that say, I only do the 4 pods. And there's some builders that will say, well, I think it'd be better. And then it's going to come down to what do we really think?
I'd be very interested to hear like what you're saying. There's somebody who wants to do just the 4 pods. I'd love to know like why. I'd love to know the pros and the cons of it from people.
Effective for them.
Maybe. Well, and I just would love to hear maybe, I don't know, what would, as somebody
You're
who has,
using one wall. I mean, they're getting
yeah,
a bigger.
I guess I'm looking at like somebody, you have expressed interest. So like for some, what would you like to see?
Well, I don't know. I'd like to see both.
That's what I'm saying. I would love to hear from,
And that's why I've
Yeah.
looked at both. I've looked at Belterra and I've looked at Stonebridge is the other one. It's in West Lafayette too. And it is the 4 pods. And that's where Shirley Kirkland lives now. And it's very nice, 2 bath.
High-end fixtures.
Yeah.
I
2
would really
bath,
love to be able to
2
see
bedroom, 2-car garage.
or
They
hear
got
from
models,
people.
they got model homes there.
Well, I just mean, I would love to be able to hear like what's somebody that's going, I'm obviously not going to live there right now. I'd love to hear from somebody that might live there, like, hey, this is what I'd like to see. Or maybe somebody that does live there, hey, I like this, but I don't like this. That'll come with time. It doesn't have to be done right now.
Okay.
I'll be quiet. Go ahead. It's okay. We've got 33 minutes.
Okay. The next development is Shepherd's Landing, and that's moving ahead, and they're wanting to proceed and go for the bond, the TIF allocation. Is that right? Did I say that right?
I don't know, I don't know what you were trying to say.
They want to go for the bond, which is going to involve the economic redevelopment
Oh,
as
yes.
opposed to the redevelopment commission. So it's going to include them getting involved.
Yes, because Tom Pittman sent out an email regarding, yes. Because he originally thought that we needed to establish the Economic Development Commission, but we had done that back in April.
Right. So we've got that done.
So what's the new news? You just said it's moving forward?
It's moving forward, but to my knowledge, I don't think a TIF area, that has not been
No.
designated a TIF area, and we need to do that.
We need to establish residential.
And so-
stuff.
Do you, Jed, do you want me to call Tom and have him work directly with Jeff on getting the parcel numbers?
It's not even that. So Tom knows what the parcel numbers,
For,
he knows.
for the first edition?
He's got the map that Jeff
Okay,
handed
okay.
out that has the 3 phases in it.
Okay,
And they said they wanted to, the reason for the 3 phases was so that you don't get the whole area declared a TIF. And on phase number 3, the 20-year clock is running for 5 years before you sell all of 1 and 2.
That makes
Yeah.
complete sense.
And so it was to kind of to slow down the TIF declaration a little bit.
So we have phase
and-
1 through 3 in there.
Yeah, and so the first area hasn't been designated to TIF, but you asking me today about what's that being done was the first time I've heard that Harrison Steel was ready to get moving on that. We've all been standing
Waiting.
down for a year,
Mhm.
and to make it sound like either the house is on fire or we need to jump and do something is not quite accurate. We've
no.
been waiting.
did you get the letter from Harrison's?
No.
Back in July?
No.
Well, it's on me. I assumed that you did, and that's why I didn't reach out, and I thought, okay,
Ah,
Well, I don't recall getting a letter in July.
it was an email from them saying, we're ready to move ahead and we need this, and I'm thinking, I don't even think that's a
Well,
TIF yet.
So I got copied on an email that said they wanted to get going on their loan and the Economic Development Commission needed to get involved in the bond, but that's a whole different thing than going forward with the Redevelopment Commission and the TIF.
But my question has been, do you need to have a TIF area designated before you can have a bond associated with a TIF area? And to me, you need a TIF area before you can request a bond on an area that is not TIF.
I don't know the answer to that, but I know that you don't need to have the entire process completed on one before you start on the other, right? And if they're saying, what the city and probably more importantly, Tom Pittman needs to know is when do they intend to close on their bond? So that we make sure we have the TIF, if the TIF
In
needs to be
process.
declared before they close on it, that we get it going in time to do it. It's gonna take a couple of months.
Right.
That process isn't difficult, but there's notices that get run in the paper and meetings that
Yeah.
RDC and EDC are going to have separately, that one has to do with the bond, one has to do with the TIF district.
Right.
But it's
When
not
I
hard
got
to
the
set up.
email, I thought that I was the last one to know anything, because it was the first time I had heard anything.
From Harrison Steel?
Yeah.
Oh. It was,
From
that was the first
Rob,
time
I
they
think.
reached out to anybody that I'm aware of too. But
Sounds like we need to get the process, putting that in a TIF
Tom
district.
is,
So Tom is
Tom's on
working
it.
on the
Yeah,
TIF.
So.
yes.
Okay.
And I tried to reach out to Tom today and I just sent him an email too, to get answers to Cindy's questions, because she and I talked earlier today and I haven't heard back from him yet.
Okay.
I left him a message and I've sent him an email.
So that's in the process, and either way, we know that we need to move ahead.
And I just asked him about throwing in one cable drive or lane too. So
And he'll need parcel numbers on that too, won't he?
it's just one.
Because it's not.
Because
Right
it's
now,
all
just
one parcel.
Mm-hmm.
It's just one parcel. Okay.
No worries.
Long time.
It's not a hard process and it's going to be driven a lot more by the Economic Development Commission and bond side of this than anything on the TIF side. The TIF side is going to be a reaction to what happens on the other side.
Right, perfect, right.
Judd, I think I talked to Leslie and she said nobody's talked to her about anything, and she was appointed as the president of the EDC.
Right. Nothing has happened since their last meeting.
Yeah, so she said, what do we do?
Well, nothing until they're asked to do something. That's Tom Pittman's expertise, not mine. I set up the local meetings to make sure we get quorums here, get documents signed and get them back to Tom.
from what it sounds, that process probably be starting here on that side.
So he sent a,
I've got this, Jeff.
the timeline, I think
Should we share
there's
that?
something about an, October 18th meeting,
13th,
13th meeting.
5:30,
Well, that sounds like when we'll be
EDC.
in gear.
That's next, city council meeting, I think also.
So Leslie will be getting contacted about that, just as soon as I know what documents are gonna be asked to sign, because that'll be her next question, like it should be. You know, they wanna see in advance what they're gonna be asked to do. That's the extent of it. I realize that's loose. I like the tiger too, but I didn't get answers. So.
Okay. We don't have to worry about declaring the 200 block a TIF area. That's already done, right?
The 200 block.
Up Perry Street, when we did the, initially.
We did the entire downtown
Town.
business area.
Yeah.
That was a question that came up on the purchase of the Paris Drive the
Yeah.
other day.
Yeah.
EDC is just the established event.
Um,
Right.
So that's not even necessary.
But he'll use that date. I'm saying he'll use that date for whatever he's working on the bond. I hear what you're saying, and I know what that schedule says.
Okay.
It regurgitates a bunch of work that he did back in February and March,
Right.
and I think he's realizing we're there now. So we just need to set up he was eyeballing an October meeting that doesn't need to happen for that purpose, but I think he's gonna use that date.
And of course, in here, the meetings are already scheduled at 4, 5, and 6.
Which meetings
All meetings.
are scheduled?
We've got redevelopment commissions every Monday, every council meeting Monday at 5. And then the council's at 6, and then APC, isn't that what you just had, is at 4. So there's meetings at 4, 5, and 6 every council meeting Monday.
Okay. So
I
he's
love to
gonna-
spend my whole Mondays with all of
And
you.
that's all because of Kaylee.
I will let you know what time.
It is true.
I don't
It
know what
is.
to tell you,
Right. I mean, it can be held somewhere else, this room just won't be available.
I know, it's a lot. I just try to get it all done at once. Otherwise, I was
Oh,
coming
for
here
the
like
EDC.
4 times a week, like that.
I
It's like
understand.
week, if I didn't have it on Monday.
Okay, is there anything else? Oh, I know what I had a
Yeah,
question
okay,
about,
that was.
Joanne, and maybe this is something. When we did the TIF area way back when, in the different parcels was, the money that we're receiving now, has that more than doubled? Do you
I
know?
would have to look at the history of revenues on that. Because we just started receiving the TIF revenues in 2020, the first year I was in office. So we've only received them for 4.5 years.
I just wanted to make sure that the TIF money off of the walk-in clinic, off of Casey's, off of Taco Bell,
Are
that,
coming in.
are they coming in?
Okay. And when I was looking at that parcel list to answer your other question last week, I literally was going in, selecting some of the high TIF revenue dollar parcels and looking at that and seeing what it was. And I believe that they are, but let me double check because I wasn't specifically looking for that. I literally was just going down the list and the big dollar ones, I was going in and seeing what parcels they were, but I can double check that.
Okay, I just want to make sure. Sometimes
Yeah.
when Lori and I went through just the food and beverage tax, there were some businesses that were not showing that we were getting their food and
But they
beverage
were
money.
collecting it, but it wasn't showing up on our revenue report.
Well, some of them didn't know if they were collecting it or not.
Has that been fixed now?
Well, they were checking with their accountants and
That's
they're
been a
checking
while
it
ago.
out.
How would they not know if they were collecting it?
Right?
I think probably they know they are
Somebody was
collecting.
collecting it.
Yeah.
They know they're collecting it, whether or not it gets turned in to the state
paid.
to be distributed back to us.
Well-
That's the thing, because the accountant,
When you file it, I mean, you have to file two separate returns, a ST 103 and a F&B. I mean, it's two returns you have to file, and each of those business owners should be seeing those returns.
but when you
And you would
have
absolutely know that. Yes, you would.
certain businesses have changed hands and they're not all up to speed, is what I'm thinking. And I said, so definitely check with your accountant who files those forms for you to make sure they've been filed. And if they haven't been filed, or if they haven't, then you need to go back and correct that. And if they have been, then we need to contact the state and say, you know, these forms were filed, it's not showing up.
Yeah,
That
I've
you
got the
give-
number that I can contact with them with if I need to.
Yeah,
Department of Revenue.
I've got the guy's number that's over the food and beverage taxes, because he's the one that sent me the store.
Should be able to get a list of, every,
we've got the list
That's
of
what I
every,
got,
okay,
but it wasn't jiving up, for lack of a better term.
okay.
the businesses were
So you
on
had
it.
some missing.
And some of them, you can look at their receipts and see that they're collecting it, but they didn't show up on the report.
Hmm.
So I don't know where the disconnect is at,
Filing.
so.
Sounds like a little bit of Enron accounting.
So,
Not filing.
like I said, there's been some changeover in ownership of businesses, and that might be part of the problem, that, things have got crossed, but they've all been contacted. And that's why I was saying, if something, I just want to make sure that we're getting all the money we're
Yeah.
owed.
Yeah, with that information being available on the website, it makes it really easy to cross-check the parcels that are
Good,
generating that, so.
okay. That's all I have. Does anybody have anything else that they want to bring up, share?
Did Aaron give the update on Shepherd's Landing?
I think that was it.
Oh, that was it.
That was that.
Thank you, Judd.
I saw the Ready To list that Shepherd's Landing has been, I forgot the terminology, but basically it's been accepted and approved for the Ready To money.
That's great. That's great.
So
Yeah.
they've done all their filings, they've done good.
When would you like the next mowing to be done? I know we had talked about it, but when would you like it to be mowed?
I think the end of this month would be fine. That would be ours. I don't think we'll need to mow after September, the end of September. Do you think so?
Now mowing's already slowing down now.
I mean, it's definitely, it's not as high as it was back there but I don't wanna.
Yeah.
I mean, we
I
could wait
guess it
till,
depends on when your grandma starts calling and complaining.
maybe we should wait till she calls. That's let's just wait. I thought about an idea.
You should get involved though.
I know, that's what's funny, is she calls you. I don't understand.
We're okay with that, Larry. We're fine with that.
I'm sure you are. I guess, I mean, do you want to wait till she calls? I mean, that's actually the only person.
I was joking.
She's the only person that gets mad about it.
I would
We
I would
said we
suggest
would
between now and our next meeting, if
have it mowed. How's that sound?
I can do that. I can have it, yeah.
Okay. Then I will accept a motion to adjourn.
I make that motion.
Second.
Moved and second, we adjourn. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, see you in October.
And that's October 31st.